Okay, well, coaches, welcome back to Rocky Mountain 7-on-7. 7 want to cover a couple of things, especially with the social distancing that's going on. I want to cover how that's going to take place here at our tournament this year.
Coaches, you or someone you designate needs to bring hand sanitizer to sanitize the kids before and after every game, and we will also have sanitizing stations here.
Before each day of the tournaments, we're going to do temperature checks. So make sure you get here on time. We're going to have to check all the kids each day at the start of the tournament.
Any temperature that's outside the norm, then the kids aren't going to be able to play for that day. If it's on Friday, they can come back Saturday and recheck it, but if it's still high, they won't be able to play in this tournament.
All right, so coaches, after the games, instead of going and doing handshakes or high fives, this year we can only do that, or we can that. You can do an air hug, you can do a high five, air five. So none of that, no handshaking of any kind, just that here or this. I would just suggest you call out the team's name, 1, 2, 3.
Game, don't linger on the sidelines. We're spacing the fields out more this year, so there's more open areas for you guys to practice and warm up. So after your games, don't linger around the fields so the other teams can come in and just move to open spaces.
Also, coaches, during the game, we encourage face masks for the coaches. We certainly encourage the face masks for the spectators as well. Past that, like Justin said, don't linger, move off the field so the next team can get on and we can get to the next game.
We send out a link for the waivers. We are only accepting online waivers. So if you bring in your paper waivers day of, that's not going to work. So we need you this week, if you haven't already, send your waivers in so we can get your team signed up and ready to go.
At the start of the tournament, each player will receive a wristband that they need to wear for the duration of the tournament, and also mouthpieces are required to play in the game. So if the player does not have a mouthpiece, he won't be allowed to play in the game. We play on the regulation field as far as width. It is 53 yards wide. Okay, it will be 40 yards long plus an additional 10 yards for the end zone.
During your offensive series, one coach can be in the huddle, but they cannot be on the field during your defensive series. Once the receiver possesses the ball, it's one hand touch and you're down right at that spot.
Okay, so we have a 25-minute running clock. It can only be stopped for timeouts. Each team will have one 40-second timeout. So to make it very easy for both the referees and for the coaches and everyone, you have one 40-second timeout. Once you call that timeout, the play clock will stop and the game clock stops. Once you snap the ball coming out of the timeout, the game clock will start again. That will resume the play. Okay, so that should make it very easy, very consistent across the board, easy for everybody to understand and keep up with. There's no rushing the quarterback. There is a 4-second clock for them to get the pass off, so there's no rushing allowed for the quarterback. There's no double passing, which means throwing back behind the line of scrimmage, trying to buy yourself more time. to complete the ball downfield. It's just right at this point of contact for the ball snapped, downfield pass.
Once the ball is snapped, the official will start the timer. He will watch the play until the quarterback lets go of the ball. Once he lets go of the ball, he will stop the timer and let the play happen. At the end of the play, he will look at the stopwatch. If the quarterback held the ball for more than 4 seconds, the play will be dead and it'll be a loss of down. Now, if there was an interception, any penalty, anything on the defense that happened after he threw the ball, that's null and void. A sack supersedes any penalty on the defense after the 4 seconds, except a personal foul.
So when you're on the offense, it has to be legal formations. There are 5 eligible receivers per play. They can't all be on one side. It has to be a legal formation, at least one receiver to the left or right. So to make sure we're not coming too creative with our plays and formations. 5th, 6th grade, they will be allowed to bump and release, but they won't be allowed to jam and ride the guy for the full 5 yards. So they can make initial contact and release. Again, same rules apply. They can't fire to the head. They have to be within the chest area, shoulder to chest for that technique. After 5 yards, they have to disengage. But with the 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, they can't ride over 5 yards. They have to disengage. Any offensive penalties, like illegal blocking or anything like that, will result in a loss of down. Penalty for taking a sack after 4 seconds, it's a loss of down. Defensive penalties, anything where you're firing to the face or anything like that will result in an automatic first down. If you inadvertently take a guy down, it's determined that you inadvertently took him down, there will be a 5-yard penalty assessed for that, automatic first down. If the same player is deemed to have done it more than once, and looks like he's intentionally tackling guys, then he will be ejected from the game. And also, coaches, the way the overtime rules work, we're going to cover it again. We're going to stop the game at the end of the regulation time. The only thing that's going to prompt overtime would be if the score is tied at that point in time. Then we'll go into our overtime rules. But if you have the ball on that last drive and you're down by 3 or you're down by 4 or whatever, you need to try to get the ball in the end zone in that regulation time. At regulation time, we're going to stop the game. That's going to be the end of it. Obviously, for time management and for us moving the games along, we don't want to have a situation where we're waiting 10-15 minutes for a team to score, and then we get an overtime situation. Then we got another 10-15 minutes to get the game run through. We want to make sure we stay efficient to our team. We're doing away with the within 8 points rule. Okay, so it's just a running game clock. Winner is the winner at the end of that clock. If there's a tie, then we'll go on to the overtime rules, but we won't stop the game if you are within 8 points. Normally do at the tournaments. For this first tournament, we won't be doing the hamburgers, hot dogs, the burritos, and things of that nature. As much as we know you guys want that, we're gonna have to put that off till July. We're gonna try to keep this as safe and as guideline friendly as we've been given the guidelines. So we're just gonna do bag chips, candy, drinks, things of that nature. Pizzas, I think we're thinking about doing that as well.
And
Domino's. And nachos. What? You're gonna edit this, right?
I thought you were
Okay, I'm gonna start off. Okay, let's go.
I don't know.
Initiate what we're doing, and he's gonna put the cherry on the top?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You told me to say that.
I know.
She changed her mind. Do you smell it? Meat?
Smells like barbecue to me. Like a grill.
That
That's kind of when you turn that
doesn't
way.
smell like barbecue.
Too much, Nikki.
Too much information.
Was it too much information?
Was it too much, Nikki?
Did it make your blood boil? Just to hear him talk.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
There you go. Someone go.
I thought he was nachos. Nachos.
Nachos.
Well, I thought nachos. Are you still recording that?
Yeah, she's
Oh, don't do that.
help us, help you.
Help us.
They're the fingers.
The fingers again.
We good?
You ready?
You didn't know.
Sponsored by Coke. Eventually. One day, Coke will sponsor us.
Today's not that day.
It's not that day.
Today's just not that day.
Just not yet. Eventually. What? What? One hand touch.
So, coaches, we play on the regulation field, which is 53 inches.
It's like this. You get to play it like this by 50 yards.
But it's aged to perfection.
It's aged to perfection, but 53 inches.
It's all you.